Hello, this is Mr. Jared, and in this video tutorial, we are going to be 3D modeling this object in SolidWorks. So first off, I can see that my origin is located right up on top, and the second thing I can notice is that my units are in millimeters. So this little cutout that you see does go all the way down through. Really, this picture should be shown in like a broken out section, so you can see that. But this little sliver that is a measurement of 6 does get cut all the way down through. You do not have to make any unique planes for this. You can actually just do a lot of mid-plane extrusions. But the one strange thing with this is this little sliver right here. So this detailed view kind of shows you that. This triangle is actually drawn inside. So you are going to be using a construction line to help you actually draw that feature later on. So you're going to do 2 different sketches just to make this little triangle piece. So again, you don't have to make a plane for this, like an auxiliary plane. That's what my note says. But you're going to use that knowledge of making a sketch to help you model another feature later on, and that will actually help you make auxiliary planes in the future. So first off, let's move this over, and in SolidWorks, let's make a new part. Let's set our units to MMGS, and we're going to be sketching right on the top plane. Now, since that part does actually have a cutout, you'll see that it just has radius, but really we are going to be just drawing complete circles first. So I'm going to draw 2 circles out, and where it says radius, we got to keep in mind that we're actually drawing in diameter. Okay, so if it has a radius of 25, obviously we want our diameter, we're going to be multiplying by 2, which is 50. Okay, and this other one, it says it has a radius of 15. We're going to be multiplying by 2, so it has a diameter of 30. I'm sure you could have just done that in your head. Now we're going to hit extrude, and we're going to send this down because the origin's on top. And it has a measurement there of 80 because it says 40 plus 40. Type in 80 and hit the green check. So that's pretty easy. Okay, the next portion here we're going to do is the back of this. And I'm actually going to be sketching right on the front plane. So get your sketch tool, click that drop down and hit front plane. And that front plane cuts right through the middle. So for us to be able to see this inside a little bit better, we're going to hit this little section view button. And we're going to make it sure it says front plane. And we're going to hit the green check. Now it's kind of cut in half temporarily, and you can see what that wall thickness is. If I hit Control 8, I'm going to a nice flat view. And this part actually goes straight across. So I'm going to start on the top of this. It goes straight across. It curves. So you've probably seen this unique tool before. If you, with the line tool, wiggle your mouse back over that point, you can get that curve. You can, of course, just do this with the 3-point arc curve. Then you can draw back and draw back up to the top. So again, if that doesn't work, just get the 3-point arc and draw that little curve for yourself. Now I'm going to get the circle tool and draw a circle in there as well. And I can start to dimension this. So that inside circle has a diameter of 20. It says from the top to the bottom is 40. It says from the center of all of this to the origin is 37. And then this is blue still, that is underdefined. So right now, if I try to define this in the section view, it gives me a lot of errors. So I'm going to get out of the section view just by clicking on that button again. If I move my mouse over this circle, it kind of comes straight across from where this point's going to be. See, there's a little yellow dot that pops up. So if we click on that dot, hold in Shift and select this corner, we should be able to make them coincident. Another way of doing that is actually just dimensioning from this line to here and making it have the same radius, so 15, as that inside hole. Now the reason why I'm doing that, I'm putting that right there, is because if I put this somewhere else inside of here and I go to extrude, the edge of this or the corner of this might pop out the side of this of the curve. But by doing it right here, since it's going to be tangent, it's going to give me the best option of not actually popping out the side. Now I'll go to features and hit extrude, and we're going to set this to mid-plane, and our extrusion there is 10 plus 6 plus 10. You can see those measurements, so 26. And now we have that part. And you can see this is solid, it didn't pop out the sides. To cut that little divide, we're going to sketch right up on top, hit Control 8, and I'm going to use the rectangle tool. Click on this back edge. I'll bring it over into here. Now I'm going to select this line, hold in Shift and select my origin. I'm going to set that to coincident. Sorry, let's do that again. Click on the line, sorry, I had the dot selected, and the origin, and we'll set it to midpoint. Midpoint, that's my fab. So now from here to the outside edge, I can tell you if you click on this, it's probably going to give you a warning. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But since that is a curve, sometimes it gives you that warning. If not, you just click on, or if it does, you just click on this line, because that's a straight line. So that's going to be 10. And since that's on midpoint, that means this is 10, and this, if you just want to double check, is also 6. So we're good there. Features tab, extrude cut, and we're going to set this to cut through all. And green check. And now you can see we have that little dividing sliver. So whatever this part may be, it kind of looks like a colander that would go over something. This might actually separate so it could slide around something and then kind of snap back into place and maybe have a spot for a bolt to go through. So we're going to do that same practice for down here for that rectangle. So get the sketch tool, drop down, and you're actually going to click on the front plane. Hit Control 8. Maybe hit your section view again to help yourself see. And now we're going to just draw this portion. So I'm going to start out by drawing this circle over here. Big circle, draw your small circle on the inside. And then we can use our line tool and we can draw right from this top dot straight in here. It lets you connect. Okay, I thought it might, but it doesn't. So we'll just draw all the way down and back over. Okay. Now, if your line down here is not a horizontal line, make sure you set it to horizontal. And it should put that all in place. So mine's tangent up top. It is tangent down here. It's the same thing. Now we can go ahead and dimension this. So the outside circle is a diameter of 40, as you can see. The inside circle is a diameter of 25. It doesn't necessarily say how far over this is, but if you look at the top of this and you do a little bit of math, it says it's 45 to the end of this triangle, and then 12 from the end of that triangle down to the center of this circle. So if you just add those two together, 45 plus 12, you got 57. So you can just go from your origin right to the center of the circle, and that's going to be 57. So that'll bump it out there. Now, you can get out of your section view and kind of just make those coincidence again, but I'm going to show you the other way that I described. So from that line to the actual origin itself is going to be the same distance as the radius of this inside, so that's 15, and you see it puts it right on there. If I get out of my section view, I can now go ahead and extrude, and I'll do just the rectangle piece first, so click in there, set this to mid-plane, and that has a total distance of 20. Green check. And so that was the other way of doing it, and you can see that it's still got the same result there. It's not cutting through. Hit extrude again. It's going to ask us for an existing sketch, so we'll hit the drop down, and click on your sketch. This time we'll do that little donut. Again, change it to mid-plane, and this time it is 40 across. So we have everything other than that triangle piece. So for that triangle piece, we're going to be sketching up on top, right up here. We're going to hit Control 8, and I'm going to get the line tool, do a 4 construction line, and I'll click on my circle, draw straight down to the other side of the circle, hit Escape, get the line tool again, another construction line. This time it's going to go from my origin to that circle. So if I zoom in, you can kind of see that the computer has a hard time rendering a perfect circle. So it doesn't necessarily look like that the end of this line is on the circle, but it is. Okay, so as long as you see that coincident there and the coincident here, it is. This line is actually going to represent the thickness of this triangle. So the thickness of that triangle is 10. All right, so I am going to dimension this line to 10. So we don't necessarily need to make any planes right now for this drawing, but doing this practice of using construction line to help yourself uh, make another feature is really how you draw auxiliary planes. So you're going to see probably in future drawings that you're going to have to use a construction sketch like this, back out of it like we're going to, hit this return button, and then you're going to use that. You might use that to actually make a plane. In this case, we already have a plane. It cuts right through the middle, and that's going to be the front plane. So sketch right on the front plane. Get your sketch tool, drop down, click the front plane again, and we can draw that triangle. Now I'm going to get my line tool, and this construction line, since there's a line right there, if I zoom in, you can see right where those two cross, there's a dot. So I'm going to start on that dot, and I'm going to draw straight down. I'm going to draw out and back up. Now, what am I actually doing? Well, if I hit Control 8, I can see a better view. So you see, I am actually drawing just right inside of this piece. Okay, so I'll bring this bottom line up so it's actually connected to that piece. And now I can set my measurements. So it says from the center of this circle, so if we just click that circle, and this point, that is actually 12. Okay, and it bumps it back. Now I go to the Features tab and hit Extrude. Again, we'll set this to mid-plane, and it said that is 10. Okay, 10. Green check. And when we do that, you see we got that little unique feature that it showed there in the detailed view. So let's change our material. This is AISI 1020, so we're going to edit material, set that to AISI 1020, hit apply and close. Mine didn't actually do it, so let's try that again. Now we can evaluate this, and we should get a mass of 1,271.77 grams. Our X should be 10.90, our Y should be negative 43.05, and our Z should be 0 because it's pretty much symmetrical, left and right, or forward and backwards. So if you got that, you can save this and move on to the next one. Hopefully you learned how you can use a sketch to help you do another feature. And if you did not get this, please backtrack, problem solve, figure out where you went wrong.